today I went to Howard Hall where I was a sophomore many, many years ago. Not that long ago. But I went there because my friends in the group chat sort of were like, we need you to go to Howard Hall. Like, we have this running joke about salt peanuts. And if you've ever heard Dizzy Gillespie's Salt Peanuts, there's this story that we cannot remember because now we're very old, but I'm going to try to retell it. So in Howard Hall, over the course of sophomore year, I want to say it was towards the end of the semester, I lived with two Tiffanys from Texas and a girl named Andromeda. So we had a lot of fun. It was great, all these good times. But Tiffany from Texas and Tiffany from Texas both had an overlapping project. And Tiffany from, let's say, Jazz Tiffany and Art Tiffany is how we're going to describe them. Jazz Tiffany was taking a jazz class at Bowdoin. I don't know why. She was like pre-med or whatever, maybe a requirement. And she had to listen to Salt Peanuts by Dizzy Gillespie and write about it. Still don't know why. Art Tiffany, took a scenic art design class. Don't ask me. She was a theater major. And she had to utilize a song to create a sculpture for her final project. So because we had Tiffany Jazz playing Salt Peanuts all the time, Tiffany Art decided, okay, I'm going to use your song to create whatever this Salt Peanut sculpture was. So we went to Walmart at the time. Went to Walmart, got these salt peanut things. We had like real peanuts, we had styrofoam peanuts, and it was just a vibe. Like every day we'd come home and Tiffany Jazz would be playing salt peanuts, salt peanuts, salt peanuts, salt peanuts, salt peanuts. Like it lives, it lives rent-free in my head. I sent them the actual song the other day, and Tiffany Jazz's son said that it was ridiculous, and we're old. So that's that. Art Tiffany started making this presentation. So from like 6 to 8 every night, we'd hear salt peanuts, salt peanuts, salt peanuts, while she's sitting at that table in Howard, you know, that little living room table that everybody has. And she's making these, putting all the styrofoam together, making these peanuts, whatever. She goes to class one day at like 9 o'clock. It was like, the usual late night class. And Tiffany, Jazz Tiffany, Rami, and I were watching Gossip Girl, I'm pretty sure. And then towards the end of the night, Tiffany needed to write this paper that she was supposed to write weeks ago. So then we're putting on salt peanuts, salt peanuts, salt peanuts for like hours. I really don't know what Rami and I were doing, but we were just in the living room hanging out. And so clumsy Tiffany Jazz accidentally knocks over a bottle of water on this project that then collapses to the ground because it's peanuts, styrofoam, whatever. And we are frantically in this room trying to put it back together because this is a final project for Tiffany Art. And we're like, the music is just salt peanuts, salt peanuts, salt peanuts. And we're like on the floor. We have Rami goes and gets the blow dryer. I'm like crunching styrofoam peanuts on the ground. It's a mess. In walks Tiffany Art. And we're all on the ground like this, trying to put it together. And she's like, this is my project. And then I step back and crunch the last of the styrofoam peanuts. And so I say this story because I want to actually go to the food for thought that I have. And so this moment, as ridiculous as it was, held a lesson that I didn't appreciate at the time. The small and the grand scheme of things stuck with me. Sometimes things fall apart. Rebuilding isn't always graceful. It's messy, it's chaotic, and it's filled with unexpected spills. Yet, we find a way to start over because the only way forward is to begin. And so I want to talk to you guys about what do you do when the world you know is starting to crumble? And when the tools that you have been given your entire life and have been drilled in your head to use no longer work. When the structures you thought were solid to begin with are buckling under the pressures pressures that you can't actually control. And so what do you do, and how do you rebuild? So my name is Dominique, and I have spent my entire career post-Bowdoin doing diversity, equity, and inclusion work. I have done it through gun violence prevention. I have done it through police reform and taking down bad police departments, working to create systems and structures and new police departments. I've worked abroad to help build reparations protocol for victims of wartime violence. I have worked in entertainment, in sports, doing gender equity work to advance the power of women in sport. I have done it through building advertising for multicultural audiences that didn't exist beforehand. I've done it through legal and governance ways and all of those things. Doesn't matter. What matters right now is that my entire career, my North Star has been in getting the liberation of Black people and helping marginalized people see themselves in the world and be productive in the world. Because I'm a first-generation student, I got out, I came to Bowdoin, and that was my goal, to be able to continue to give back to my community through work that I was proud of. Well, look at the job market right now for DEI. I don't have a North Star anymore. I don't know what that is, and every day it changes, because every day I wake up and I'm seeing my friends get laid off. I see me having to shift to roles that I'm not excited about because I have to make a living. And I'm just in a really tough place right now. And so giving this talk, I was like, how can I motivate anybody? Because I'm looking for the adults. Where are the rules? Give me something. I've been cultivating this professional garden, so to speak, for many years. You bring your tools, you think, I'll build this pretty flower, the flowers start to bloom. These are working. And then you realize, you go back to this garden, and those tools don't work. I don't know if they've been discontinued. I'm not sure if they're ever gonna come back. But what I do know is that it has been very difficult to sort of navigate that. And so I come to, if I can get my phone to open, my next fact. This work has shown me the firsthand importance of resilience, and particularly the systems that we rely on, what happens when they start to falter. And for me, it's just really about not scrambling, to glue everything back together. I don't think that what we have had has worked, and that's why we are where we are. I don't know when or how to build something new, but I do know that it has to be something new. We have to be able to rebuild not only our institutions, not just our communities, but ourselves, because when those tools break, something inside of you breaks, and then you have to still move on, because you're not giving up, you just have to redirect and reset. And so for me, I'm getting a little bit tongue-tied about this because I'm speaking in real time as I am going through this. And so for me, the things that I've been doing outside of my career, my North Star, have been very interesting, so to speak. So I feel like for me, they've been building a level of resilience, a level of care, because if I can find joy and rest and pause, then I'm ready for the fight when it comes back. Because we are gonna need that diversity, we are gonna need that equity, we are gonna need that inclusion when the time comes. And so, I'm learning how to swim. And I'm not good at it. I can tell you that. I probably will not pass the class, I'll have to start over, but it is freeing to have power in something that is daunting and scary, and historically has been taken away from Black people. I don't know all the history, that's not my ministry, but what is that I know that I have the power to control that and take it back. The second thing I've been doing is, because I can't be in sport, it doesn't mean that I can't watch it, that I can't cheer for women, that I can't activate in different ways. I have a secret little blog that I have been cultivating community through. And so we share stories, we do hot takes. I follow all the news that I can, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, did you guys know this or that? I write little things. And writing has been a way for me to encourage myself, encourage others, and continue to share information. And that blog has been so helpful because I have people who are like, I never watched sports before. I started tuning in. I'm learning. And if they're learning, they understand the importance of equity. They understand the importance of inclusion. And they understand that they can share those stories with other people. And it takes a small journey, a small village, and we're keeping the information going as an act of resistance. The last thing I'm doing is, because I've exhausted every single bit of television I possibly can muster, I've started to make my own television. There is no joy, there is no romance. I'm so tired of seeing propaganda and sad stories and no black people on TV who have joy and look like me. So I joined this all-female black writing group, and we write little stories, okay? So when I can't watch the shows that I want to see, I write them. I don't know if I'm a good writer or not, but it's nice to get off of work and go play with my little characters and share my little stories with people. Showing that black love, showing that black people can be powerful is an act of resistance. And so I give you another tip. Let me find these tips. Okay. In storytelling, I'm finding that solace, I'm finding that sisterhood, because the best way to find yourselves and to think about building a new world is to create it. Whether or not it is in your head, you put it down on paper, you manifest it, it becomes true. And so these aren't hobbies. These are lifelines for me at this point. These are things that resonate when I can't find that in the outside world. So, when the tools break, don't be afraid to pause. Don't be afraid to reset. I tell myself this all the time, that I'm not starting over. I'm starting again on my terms. And so, real resilience, and again, I'm telling myself this every day because I am someone who feels that if you are going to change something, you have to keep going, you have to keep going, you have to keep going. And sometimes you just can't. Like, you physically just can't. You externally just can't. And so what do? You just pause. It starts with us. It starts with our communities. It starts with every day reminding yourself of one joy, whether or not that is big or small. And so I want to tell you that, I don't know what I want to tell you. Okay, what I do want to tell you is that these aren't signs of weakness. They are revolutionary forces. They give us the strength to rise again. And when we build together and we embrace the power of pause and collective care, we create the kind of resilience that can change the world. And so to anybody who's feeling as lost as I am and uncertain, it is okay. Don't give up. Find those little bit of joy. Write your stories. Read your books. Take your swim classes. Get all the strength that you can get, because there will be a fight. We're going to need everybody. And if you are not rested, if you are not ready to be resilient, if you are not ready for the long journey, you are not helpful to yourself. You are not helpful to your community. And you will not be able to make the change that you want to see in the world. So, the last thing, we are stronger together. Rebuilding is not a lonely road. You don't have to do it on your own and by yourself, because I have found community through these minute things that I'm doing. It is a necessary process. It is a bridge that we build together. And it is a revolutionary act. So thank you again for going on this journey with me. I hope that when your life feels like salt peanuts, you step back, you pause, and you create something new. Thanks.